2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. And tonight, it'll be the Philadelphia 76ers going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Well, for Minnesota, they haven't forgotten the fact that this team swept them last year in the regular season. This is a game they had circled going in. And tonight, we'll get a look at former #1 overall pick Andrew Wiggins. Great size and athleticism. Kenny, in your mind, will he ever be a superstar?
Oh, well, it's a chance. We know he could score. His defensive intensity hasn't always been up there. And I think if he improves his ball handling skills, that will take him over the top.
You know, he's got to do more than one thing to be a superstar in this league. I think he has the tools to be great, but does he have the will?
Ooh, very interesting question. Very deep, Shaq.
Very deep.
Anyway, now with the tip-off coming up shortly, it's time to send it to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Welcome, folks, to what promises to be a great Tuesday night of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, our sideline reporter, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge. We've got a special treat for you folks tonight. Sports writing heavyweight Bill Simmons is in the house. Bill, welcome to 2K Sports.
What an honor. I've been waiting for the invite for years.
And we've been waiting for the acceptance. Thanks for joining us.
Let's do this.
The fans here in Philadelphia ready to cheer on their 76ers in this interconference matchup. This is their first chance this season playing the Timberwolves. They controlled everything in both games last year, going 2-0.
Yeah, and taking on an interconference foe, certainly not a rival. They're the better team, and they showed it, winning both matchups last season.
Right you are. I mean, winning the games they were supposed to win. No doubt they'll look to continue that tonight.
And we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. D.A.?
Guys, Joel Embiid is listed at 7 feet, but at player introductions, they say 7'2" center, Joel Embiid. Now, Brett Brown says when you stand next to him, you understand the difference between 7 feet and 7'2". He's a big man, Kevin.
He is tremendous size and skill to match, D.A. Thanks. With Embiid, modern superstar knows how to connect with fans using his social media to his advantage. He has got a very charismatic side to him.
He does. I wish he cared a little bit less about it. I don't mean to sound like an Embiid critic, but I think he's very aware of his surroundings at all times. You could feel it at the playoff games that I went to in Boston, where he's very aware of the fans, and he's very aware of getting booed and kind of looking around. And I think there's another level that he can go to as a player of just like, guess what? None of that stuff matters. Just play basketball. You're 7'3", and you're unstoppable. I thought he just needs to be a little more locked in and a little less aware of that other stuff, and I think he needs to be in better shape. You saw in the playoffs, he would peak in the first 3 quarters. By the 4th quarter, I thought he was dead. You can see his hands are on his knees. And the reason he wasn't in great shape was he'd never come close to playing that many minutes in 4 years. So the key for him is, can he play around 70 games a season? Can he play 30 minutes a game? Can he get to 2,100 minutes for the year? And can he have something left in the tank for the playoffs? Because his conditioning really hurt him against the Celtics.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Gibson plays the 4 with Towns in the middle. Teague out there with Bradley Beal. And it's Wiggins in at the 3 spot. And Bill, on the topic of Joel Embiid, sometimes we don't appreciate what a big man has to go through because constant leaning, bumping. I mean, they play a game so different than guys that are on the perimeter. They don't face that constant guy on.
Right. And the fair with him is some people's bodies maybe aren't meant to play basketball for 20 years, you know. And you watch him, he's 7'3", he's giant arms, giant legs. And when you watch him run, you kind of feel it. Whereas there's other guys when you watch them run and it just makes sense. Like I still remember seeing KG early in his career. It's like, wow, that dude was meant to play basketball. He was just like a gazelle, you know. Giannis is like that. LeBron is like that. Embiid is really tall, and he's carrying weight, and there's just a lot of pressure going to his joints. And I just hope he can stay healthy.
Like with Yao.
Yeah, Yao is a great example. Greg Oden. Andrew Bynum, I think, is a really good example. Andrew Bynum was the focal point of the Dwight Howard trade in 2012. He's out of the league 2 years later. So, you start going over 7 feet with these guys, and Kareem is an anomaly. Bill Walton, Yao, Ilgauskas, Rick Smith. These are all guys that got injured because they were too tall.
Bill, the way that super teams are being put together right now, good or bad for the league?
I'm confused. I have been watching this league since I was a kid. We've always had super teams. There's never been an era where we didn't. What do people think the Jordan era Bulls were? And what do they think the Shaq, Kobe Lakers were? This is how the league is. I think what bothers people this time around specifically is that the Warriors won 73 games and they added Kevin Durant. Now, I get it. I get why it bothers people. On the other hand, your job as a franchise is to tilt the competitive advantage in any way you can toward your favor. They did a great job building their team. They did a great job building enough cap space for this year that everybody knew was coming. The summer of 2016, we knew the cap was going to jump. And they played it perfectly, and they got Kevin Durant out of it. He played it perfectly, too. He was on a team. He wasn't going to win the title in OKC. He wasn't going to win the title playing with Westbrook. Not to sound like a Durant apologist, but he wants to win a title and beat LeBron James. If you're going to do that, you're going to try to get on the best possible team you can.
Timeout called, first of the game for Minnesota. And, Bill, we were discussing how teams are constructed in recent years. The changes in 2016 to camp space. How Kevin Durant landed with the Warriors.
I see the analogy that, it's like stacking a pickup game and just grabbing the best 4 guys and just beating people on a pickup court for 4 hours. But that's the thing. The league isn't a pickup game. The league, everyone operates by the same rules. And the Warriors...
Everybody had a shot at him.
Everyone had a shot. The Celtics had a shot. He didn't even want to interview with the Lakers. The Knicks had cap space. They didn't have a chance. The Wizards had cap space. He was from Maryland. They didn't want to go there. So, I think the Warriors should get a little more credit for how smart they were with everything.
Here's Simmons after the made shot from Karl Anthony Towns. Embiid, no good. So for the Timberwolves, their last game a win against New Orleans.
And once they established that flow offensively, really never got any resistance from the D.
And Greg, they were sinking shots left and right, and that's got to be demoralizing for the defense. They were in the real zone.
And it's the 76ers with the ball after the made shot from Jeff Teague. Offensive rebound. Shot's good by Simmons. Simmons got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
And it's Towns missing.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
Here's Fultz. Provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game.
Yeah, and those illegal screens have really become a point of emphasis for the officials.
And it seems like they've been more than willing to crack down on those. Makes it tough to get as physical as you'd like to out there.
Wilson Chandler's checked in for Philadelphia. Bill, the Sixers, they've embraced the symbol of the bell here in Philadelphia, ringing it before big games and after big wins.
What they haven't embraced this year was confetti, because it came back to haunt them in Game 3.
Shot.
Yeah, the confetti game for the Philly-Boston series. They shoot the confetti, the game's not over, Boston wins in overtime. And I promise you will never see confetti at a basketball game in Philadelphia ever again in your life.
Now, here's Redick, following the miss by Derrick Rose. Fultz kicks to Embiid. Back to Fultz. Just 5 to shoot. Nice open look, but it's no good. Timberwolves trail by 9. And there's the call on Dario Saric. That's foul number 2 for him.
And that's his 2nd foul already, and that's going to force him to tone down his aggression defensively.
Towns against Embiid. Outside Rose. Clock at 6. Embiid with the steal. And the wide open shot from Redick. They grabbed their own miss.
And, I have no idea how he missed that one. When there's no defense around, he's usually automatic from there.
Basket counts.
Yeah, the willingness from Towns to share the ball, just another reason why his guys love playing with him.
The 76ers leading by 7. Fultz kicks to Redick. Embiid in the corner. Back to Redick. 6 to shoot. He's looking for Saric and finds him. Outside for Redick. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. And the foul called on Tyus Jones. That is his first foul of the game. Stolen by Wiggins.
And how about the stingy defense there to deny that pass?
An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Now just a 5-point Philadelphia lead. And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here. Commissioner Adam Silver believes the 2K Esports League will have the staying power of the NBA, the WNBA, the G League. Pretty powerful comment to me.
And I hope he's right, because I want to be the lead color guy. I want us to be the team. Why can't it be us, Kevin Harlan? Are you kidding me? Let's do that. Cut me the check. As Rasheed Wallace would say, CTC. Cut the check.
Bill Simmons is here.
I'm ready.
Looking at Philadelphia, they took the win in their last game against the Knicks.
And anytime you come off the bench, you know your role. And that night, it was about scoring.
Well, Greg, and I think it complements the starters when you can have such firepower coming off the bench.
Clock at 4, out of bounds. Philadelphia takes possession. Now let's bring up the 2K leaderboard. Here are the top rebounders over the last month. Third is Karl Anthony Towns.
He must be spending a lot of time in the weight room because he's shown such strength under the basket.
The 76ers leading by 5. Fultz with the ball. Shoots from 12. Tries again, and Embiid lays it in. Embiid's got his first basket of the night.
No easy chore keeping the 7-footer off the glass. Embiid crashing with intentionality.
And the Timberwolves call time. The 76ers will go for a different look here. Muscala, he's checked in for Embiid. Ben Simmons comes in for Saric. Smith checked in for J.J. Redick. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Markelle Fultz. The pass to Beal. Pass to Chang. Okogie. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
And check out the numbers for Bradley Beal. He's been more than solid over the last month, averaging about 18 points per, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. And I think he's got to be pretty pleased with his output. And you know he's always looking to push himself.
Yeah, really solid numbers across the board here, Greg. I mean, he contributes in a multitude of ways for this club.
Got a piece of it. To the paint. Outside Teague. Passes to Bates-Diop. Back to Teague. Here's Bates-Diop. 6 on the shot clock. It's Beal on the wing. The 19-footer is on the money. Now we've seen some top prospects forgo college, enter the G League straight out of high school. What do you think is the future of the G League, and do you like where it sits right now?
I do. I wish they spent more money on salaries.
I agree.
I wish they blew it out. I mean, I think this is the first year we've had 30 G League teams. This should be the number one place you'd want to go after high school. You should not want to go to college. You should want to go to a AAA awesome league that's set up.
And they're bringing kids up and down off that G League roster all the time.
It's just better, and you're going to have a better chance to succeed as a professional basketball player. You see the situation we're in now with the one-and-done guys. They go to college. They show up in September. They're playing all the way through till March. Whenever they get knocked out, they drop out of college. And they might last, till round 2 in the tournament, which is March 20th? And they're out. So they've been in college for 6.5 months. How's that a good system? They didn't even finish 2 semesters. So I would much rather see the G League work, and I don't understand why they don't spend a little more on it and just make it like a force. I don't think the moves are that hard.
Here's Simmons after the made shot from Bradley Beal. McConnell kicks to Muscala. Simmons hits in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
Boy, what skill from Simmons. I mean, so adept at reading the defense and exploiting them in the paint.
Pass to Bates-Diop. Teague left side. Now, here's McConnell. An 11.
Whenever Simmons gets a chance to show off his insane bounce, he takes advantage of it, really demonstrating how lethal he is in the air.
And a terrific bit of chaos there on the replay, presented by the Under Armour Hover Havoc. Chandler outside. Back to McConnell. Yes, that goes in. And now an 11-point Philadelphia lead. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the 76ers.
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunity. They're really keeping it up-tempo so far.
Now McConnell. Bradley Beal missing from long range. That one good for 2.
Well, I tell you what, I like the clip he's shooting at. Extremely effective. If you're on defense now, you got to get the ball out of his hands.
To halt the run. That one, no good.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
And, that's not easy at all. When guys get this close to the bucket, it's tough to stop the basket.
Okogie, he's guarded by Chandler. A nice shot by Teague.
And the crafty, cunning Teague, fantastic at finding ways to score down low.
And here is Simmons for 3. And he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And an overpowering first quarter effort. Already a double-digit advantage. 76ers on top, up by 11. Live from Philadelphia, you're watching 2K Sports. One of the most high-powered scorers in the game, Karl Anthony Towns, knows it's important to keep his teammates involved.
Everyone has to get some of the sugar, so making sure you're not just being a ball hog. So I'm just always trying to make sure that I'm taking wide open shots that I think everyone on the team would love for me to take if I have the opportunity. But also at the end of the day, making sure everyone gets a chance to be in the candy shop.
Well, when you're attracting, Greg, all that defensive attention, it creates opportunities for your teammates.
And Towns wants to win big. To do that, though, it's not enough to get numbers. You've got to make your teammates better as well.
And so far, through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. Guys, 76ers pretty much in control here, it would seem.
I mean, a huge lead, and already after this first quarter, they're starting to make it look easy.
Yeah, like an avalanche, Greg, overpowering the defense on a majority of their possessions.
On the court for the Timberwolves as our second quarter is underway. They've got Zhang. Rose is out there with Jones. And it's Bates Diop in at the 4.
One shot, find the lane.
And the free throw, no good. Hey, Bill, watching the evolution of the Sixers team, they've talked about the process. That was how they kind of labeled what they're doing right now, what they have done to get to this point.
The Celtics, I think if you were talking about the process, the Celtics did a better version of it. They built arguably a better base of young players. The biggest thing with Philly was that the Joel Embiid draft was where they got lucky because he was going to be the first pick of that draft. He got hurt in a workout maybe 5 or 6 weeks before the draft, falls to 3. And if that doesn't happen, they don't have the Embiid-Simmons combo. Instead, they have Andrew Wiggins, and we're not deifying Sam Hinkie.
Here's McConnell following the bucket by the Timberwolves. Shot clock at 3. It's stolen by Jones. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
A chance here, Kevin, to take a look at the 76ers and how they rank in the NBA right now.
And also, I love their work on the boards. I mean, they put multiple bodies in the paint. Truly a team effort, and that's why they're the best in the league.
And that one falls for Jones. Good on both.
Probably as close to a sure thing as you can have at the free throw line.
McConnell kicks to Chandler. And that one hits back iron.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
A minute and a half gone here in the second quarter. Pass to Zhang. 6 on the shot clock. Elbow shot is on the way. And that's good for 2. Rose has got his first bucket in this one.
And you love to see Rose aggressively looking to score on the inside.
Bill, your long-lost cousin Ben Simmons headlined a tremendous rookie class in 2017, and I think people might think it's the best rookie season ever in the history of the league.
A lot of good players. Simmons, Mitchell, Tatum. Do we count Simmons in that class, though? I guess
since he won the Rookie of the Year, let's put him in there.
All right, we'll put him in there. I think if you come out of a year of rookies and you get one guy who has a chance to be a franchise guy, that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. We had 3. If you're doing 3 a year for 10 years, you have the most ridiculous league of all time. I think the talent ebbs and flows, and we've had stretches. Like, I think last decade, in the 2000s, especially like from about 03 to 07, 08, like, we were just short all-stars. We were just short a few guys, and you saw teams like the Nets with Jason Kidd made the finals 2 years in a row, and you saw the Ben Wallace Pistons team actually win the title.
With no superstars.
Right. And you saw, in 06, the Pistons, remember they were on pace to win 70 games, they had 4 All-Stars. The league just wasn't that good, and now it's flipped, and it's so loaded. I think from a talent standpoint, as good as any year since 1993.
Wow, that's a big statement.
Yeah, which 25 years ago, we're just loaded with guys who could be Hall of Famers someday, or 8-time All-Stars, things like that. So now you look at this 17 class, and Simmons, Mitchell, Tatum, just right there. That's awesome. I still believe in Lonzo.
Take a break.
And I still believe in De'Aaron Fox. I think those guys can be All-Stars too.
The first one falls. He makes one of two that time. Timberwolves trail by 6. The dish now to Jones. Okogie, he's guarded by Chandler. To the inside, here's Jang, and there's another one for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling now.
You know, Bill, when you look at the players the Sixers have put together, they should be a perennial contender, it would seem, on paper for years to come.
But that's the thing about the NBA. You never know. Yeah. We've seen a lot of these teams that looked like they were the next potential dynasty, and within 2 years, they've made a trade. Somebody got hurt. I mean, you talk about the 80s Rockets. You talk about the Magic in the 90s. They made the finals. Within 14 months, that whole team is gone. The OKC Thunder, 2012, Game 5, Miami. I took a picture of KD and Harden and Westbrook with their arms around each other. They never played together again. So I think the thing you learn over and over again with basketball, even Derrick Rose and the Bulls, every time you think there's the next young team that's coming, they still have to actually do it, and sometimes they don't.
So it's the Timberwolves now. 76ers getting the bucket. Jones dishes to Rose. Pass to Bates-Diop. Fires from deep. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
Yeah, there's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes now in the D.
And Philadelphia calls time here. Sixers with a completely new group now. Let's check out the Eastern Conference standings now that we're in the new year. Taking a look at Toronto. Quite a season they've assembled here, guys. Perched up there in first place and playing terrific basketball game in and game out. And, of course, there's the 76ers. Just need to take it a game at a time.
And seeing where the 76ers are, this hasn't been the breakout season that many were predicting, but they're still very much in the hunt for a high postseason seed, and that will keep them focused here during the season's final stages.
And they need to stay focused. I mean, they have to ensure they hang on to a high seed. It's imperative for them.
Now here's Gibson. He had 15 points last out. Jones kicks to Beal. No luck that time on the shot that would have put them on top. For Philadelphia, they've gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Simmons inside. Covered by Wiggins. Redick finds Embiid. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
How about that? Redick showing the same kind of accuracy on that pass as he has on his three-point shots, which is quite remarkable. That's how you drop a dime, though.
Tries it from the top of the key, and Towns the bucket on the assist by Jones. Towns has got the game tied up here for the Timberwolves. Redick passes to Saric. And another turnover here by Philadelphia. And now a chance to see what's coming up for the Philadelphia 76ers. On Thursday, they'll begin a road trip starting in Indiana, going up against the Pacers. Then on Saturday, they'll go up against Russell Westbrook and the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And for that game against the Spurs, this is a game that they are expected to win. But sometimes those are the kind of games where you get a little bit sloppy and start looking ahead. Either way, they'll need to put in tremendous effort to walk away with the victory.
Here's Beal after the made shot from Karl Anthony Towns. That puts them in the lead. 6 points for Beal.
A much better quarter for them shooting the ball.
Anytime your field goal percentage is in the high 50s, partner, you're doing something right.
Now here's Fultz. Outside, Redick. Puts up a 3. Hits it from three-point range. Redick's got 8 points.
Great setup right there. Calling for the pick and roll. Redick getting the separation he wanted to keep it and convert.
Now here's Jones. He's covered closely. Inside, Embiid with the steal. And here we go. Fast break. Fultz has got it. At the top of the key, Embiid. Left side, Saric. Minnesota with the rebound. Wiggins surveying the floor. Outside, Jones. To the middle. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Gibson is a handful to deal with inside at times. Good at forcing the defense to foul.
First trip to the line for him here.
An okay season at the free throw line for him so far, sitting right around 76%.
That one misses.
Taj Gibson provides what I think is really valuable wisdom and experience to his team, and he leads by example.
And he's good on the second. For Philadelphia, they've gotten just over 50% of their shots to drop here in the second quarter. They're 5 for 9. Outside, Redick. Embiid in the corner. And no good. And Minnesota now the other way. Jones up top, guarded by Fultz. Now here's Jones. Defense right on him. Took the opportunity when he saw it. 7 points for Karl Anthony Towns.
Boy, have they gotten hot here in the second quarter. No wonder they're in front.
I don't know if this field goal percentage is sustainable, but if they can stay close to what they've done in shooting the ball, they'll run away with this one.
And so it's Jones. He'll bring it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Here's Towns. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That one on Embiid.
A guy with the size and skill of Towns, Kevin, really hard to stop without fouling.
And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Timberwolves.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
And also defensively, they've been able to cause some turnovers tonight, and that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
The free throw drops for Towns.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
And, Greg, definitely that's one of the reasons they're in front right now.
Both shots good from the stripe.
Great touch from the line. Always important for bigger guys to be able to come through at the stripe.
Fultz kicks to Saric. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Towns with the steal. Here's Beal. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. Towns has got 3 assists tonight. And
good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
That is a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yep, he was on the money, that's no doubt. And the 76ers call time here.
Yeah, you can sense he wasn't happy with how things are going here. Probably looking to change it up a bit.
Nothing wrong with that. You got to be flexible. When something isn't working, you adjust, you modify, you go to something else. That's what the best coaches do.
Jeff Teague, he's checked in for Tyus Jones. Fultz with the ball. Now guarded by Gibson. Wiggins against Simmons. Shot clock at 6. Redick against Beal. The shot by Redick, no good. Timberwolves leading by 5. And a wide open look here for Wiggins. And Embiid pulls it down. Embiid's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Now here's Fultz. Teague covering. Fultz, no good.
I can't explain what happened there, Kevin. I mean, he had the layup. It looked like it was a simple play. Somehow the defense threw him off just enough to cause a miss.
And it's Wiggins missing. For Philadelphia, they've gone 6 of 13 so far from the field here in the second quarter. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's on Jeff Teague.
And, you know, Fultz plays bigger than his size down low, guys. Outstanding at using his body to draw contact.
For Philadelphia, they have converted 1 of 2 free throws so far today.
Gentlemen, and in terms of team numbers, the free throw percentage is right at 74.
And, guys, that allows their opponents to play very aggressive defense if they choose to, knowing it's not a bad thing to send them to the foul line.
No good on that one.
And, you know, Fultz is a guy who can easily take over a game if you give him an opportunity to. He's very confident and has remarkable decision-making skills.
And he can't hit the second.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
Yeah, I like everything you said there, because when all else fails, if you can get to the stripe, that's really a good way to change the momentum in the game, because you get points and you also slow down the opponent because the game isn't going up and down as much.
The 76ers trail by 5. Here's Simmons. Wiggins with the block.
Great read that time by Wiggins, anticipating the shot. Sends it out with return to sender post.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
Fantastic speed on the break. Speed kill, showing no mercy in transition there, partner.
Now here's Fultz. Simmons feeling it out a bit. Here's Embiid. Score the basket, his 3rd after 5 shots.
Joel Embiid has a nice shooting touch and does not lack for confidence, and seems to be getting better in the mid-range area.
We've got 1:23 left in the second quarter. Outside Teague. Good D by Embiid. Always full of terrific insights. Bill Simmons, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you. My insights, thank you as well.
And Clark, always great to have Bill with us. A content creator who really taps into what the audience is thinking.
Could not agree with you more. Amen to all of that, Kevin. He's got a very loyal fan base and readers and viewers that share his vision, not just on sports, but on life. And that strong connection he has with them is admirable.
Judge has the open look. Shot is good off the back rim and in. Now just a 3-point Timberwolves lead. Minnesota's gone 3 of 7 tonight from 3-point territory. Outside Beal. Simmons against Wiggins. Outside Towns. Beal from long range. At basket number 6 to his stat sheet. He's now 6 for 10.
Yeah, he's building off that strong first quarter, Kevin. Rising up and hitting shots with confidence.
Now Fultz. Kicks to Embiid. Slips over Towns. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Towns. Here's Redick. Bradley Beal. He's been the guy making things happen for the Minnesota Timberwolves. What a quarter that saw them generate a great comeback effort and are now out in front with momentum behind them. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Karl Anthony Towns. An impressive first half and a nice start for you guys. How did that happen?
We had some great days of practice. This is what happens when you got some days off.
Got the spring in your step again. Thanks, Karl Anthony. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back to you, I guess.
And
not you.
Not him?
You.
Oh, her, for sure.
Them.
Yes.
This is Ernie Johnson. That's Kenny, that's Shaq. You're watching the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. Bradley Beal putting in some incredible work. He had 13 points and 1 rebound. And, Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
Well, there was one pleasant surprise, and that was the bench. They gave them a big lift. Those guys came into the game, they did all the dirty work, and they scored baskets.
Shaq, what'd you think about Philadelphia?
Reminds me of Kenny's soup selection. Has been very, very sloppy. Way too many turnovers. They look unorganized, out of control. It's not pretty basketball. The good news, though, they're still in a great position to win the game if they just cut down the turnovers.
And now with the second half about to get underway, let's send you back courtside. See everybody with Kevin Harlan.
As we return to Philadelphia, we give you a scenic view of the downtown skyline of this terrific city. A stunning sight. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. What a game we're seeing from Simmons.
Yeah, he really gave them a boost in that first half. Shot way above his average.
Exactly, Greg. And, when he's scoring like this, they're tough to stop.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. And so it's Teague with it. He'll bring it up for the Timberwolves. 6-point game. Fultz, Embiid, Dario, and Simmons on the floor. And it's Redick in at the 2 guard. And that's the group for Brett Brown as we begin the second half. 6 to shoot. Here's Beal. And again, it's Minnesota converting. The position of power forward, Clark, that was your position. Did you ever think it would become a major weapon for stretching the floor as it is now?
No, I didn't see that evolution happening. Again, at that time in the 80s, even into the 90s, you had the small forward and the power forward was more of an enforcer. I was actually kind of a hybrid at the time because I could deal inside effectively on the glass and because of my size and strength, but also could step out and put it on the floor and pass it a little bit. So, no, the evolution with the 4-man in this day and age, I did not foresee that at all. Love what's happened with it, but it speaks, I think, to the athleticism and skill of these bigger guys now. It does.
And defensively, this is the opposite of how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, just a real lack of aggressiveness there right now. Can't give up these types of layups to begin the quarter, Greg. That's a no-no. Well, the 2016 Rookie of the Year, Karl Anthony Towns, a.k.a. Cat. Only the 5th player to win that award unanimously. And by the way, in year 2, he set the Timberwolves franchise record for scoring in a season.
Take a break. 2 shots.
The free throw drops for Towns. And you talk about Towns' sophomore year. He became the first player, Clark, in NBA history to record 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 100 3-pointers in a single season.
Wow. That is impressive, boy. But his shooting ability, for his size, remarkable. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me before his career is done, Kevin, if he joins Dirk Nowitzki as the only 7-footers in the 50-40-90 club. 50% two-point field goals, 40% or better from 3, and 90% from the line.
Now here's Simmons. He's got 16. Here's Embiid over Towns. Got that one, and the Minnesota lead has been cut down to 8 on the bucket from Embiid.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Beal against Redick from the baseline. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. The 76ers have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Inside, here's Embiid. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. Timberwolves leading by 8. Back to Teague. He dishes it to Beal. Shoots over Redick. And once again off the mark by Minnesota.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Not much else you can do there. I mean, that's what you want. Too bad they weren't able to finish it off.
T kicks to Gibson. Beal the pass to Towns. And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
And a chance here to look at the numbers for Redick. 5th in three-point shooting, and he's among the top 20 free throw shooters in the league. Doesn't waste many opportunities at the line.
And yeah, he's one of the dead-eye sharpshooters in the game for sure. A top 5 percentage guy from deep. Just a hard man to slow down. Now here's Embiid. 8 points for him. To the middle, here's Fultz. And he banks in the layup. Fultz has got 8 points.
And, you know, even when you D him up, Kevin, Fultz still powers through that defense, especially when he's this close to the rim.
There's the lob to Towns. No good on that one.
A highlight reel play all the way, just can't connect.
I thought the pass looked good and just came up a skosh short, but I like the initiative and the intention.
T kicks to Towns. Back to Beal. Can they get it? And it's good on the layup. Beal's got 6 points in the quarter.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
As well he should, Greg. I mean, he always is looking to score the ball, even more so when he's hot. I like the mindset.
Now, here's Redick. He's been playing a big part of their offensive scheme, averaging around 15.5 points a game. Here's Fultz. And stolen by Jeff Teague. And here's the fast break. Beal leading the way. Shoots over Redick, and there's Bradley Beal on the assist by Towns. Towns has got 4 assists now tonight. And a moment here to take a look at some of the hustle stats for Minnesota.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And also, I've been extremely impressed with their interior D. Their rim protection has been as good as it gets.
Timeout called the 76ers. And you think about the game of Karl Anthony Towns, the versatility club. The versatility just leaps out at you.
Well, he's a man of his times, Kevin, when you talk about his game. I mean, that's where the game is now. And that's always been his ambition, to be as complete a player as possible. And at his size, he shoots it deep. He can post you up. And as he gets better as a passer, he's going to be harder to guard.
And the 76ers with a completely new group now. To the inside, Johnson shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And that versatility that Johnson offers has a huge upside. He's mobile and strong enough that he can defend either front court position, and that's a great tool for any team to have.
First free throw is good. There's something timeless about a star tandem, Clark. Jordan and Pippen, Kobe and Shaq, Steph and KD. What's needed for guys at that level to play together and coexist?
I think the biggest thing is an appreciation and respect for one another. I mean, that to me is the beginning point of coexisting at a high level, because you're going to have some friction, you're going to have some disagreements, but all of that can be put to the side when there's great appreciation and respect for each other and a real focus on what we're trying to get done. You get that in place, then the talent will rise to the very top.
And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. A chance to take a moment and compare the front court and back court scoring on the night for the Timberwolves.
And it's been guard play, which really has shouldered the burden offensively here. They'd like a bit more production from the front court, but in the meantime, this back court has kept them in the game.
Free throw, good from Jang.
And, you know, Gorgui Dieng, not just remarkable for his basketball talent, but for how he's given back to his native country of Senegal. I mean, we talk about unselfishness all the time in the basketball sense, but this is really unselfishness in the greatest and truest sense.
No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. And you mentioned the philanthropy of Jang. It goes way beyond running a basketball camp or cutting a check.
Yeah, he owns over 100 acres in Senegal where he tutors local farmers. I mean, he's got a real passion for farming. Maybe more significantly, his contributions to hospitals in that poverty-stricken region, literally changing and saving lives.
And a quick look at how the Minnesota Timberwolves schedule is shaping up. On Friday, they'll be matching up against DeMar DeRozan and the San Antonio Spurs. And then on Sunday, they'll go up against Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns.
And if I'm this team, I'm looking at this as a barometer to see how we stack up against some of the top teams in the league. They'll have to be at their best, but if they come out of this with some success, I think it'll build momentum for the rest of the run.
And the first one at the line is good. And Tom Thibodeau is a demanding coach, Clark. We know that. His teams have responded, though. But sometimes teams can wear down from that style. Does that concern you in Minnesota?
Not really, Kevin. I mean, he's shown that he's got a proven track record for having teams be successful. And with ownership behind him, I think the players will follow his lead. Remember, he's got the dual role as coach and president of operations. Not sure if that is always the best way to go about it, but in this case, with the alignment with ownership, I think it'll work.
The 76ers shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
2 shots.
The free throw drops for Smith. Smith hits them both. And this Timberwolves team, so fun to watch.
I agree. All-star talent on the rise, athleticism, and they can light it up too. Yeah, fun group.
And that's the role they want for Rose, getting guys going through his passing, especially when he can find them in rhythm.
Now, here is Muscala. No points in the game yet for him. Smith drives in. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Now that we have a moment, let's take a peek at the teams that are leading the league in blocks. The 76ers third.
I terrific rim protection. They rotate and help on the inside as well as anybody. And, of course, you want to keep offenses on the outside shooting jump shots, and that continues to be the goal.
First one falls for him.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
Yeah, you know what? And I think they've just got to keep on keeping on. Keep drawing contact, attacking, getting to the line. That will certainly give them a chance to get back into the game.
Smith hits them both.
And, you know, Brett Brown has seen it all in Philly, the good and bad times, was the head coach for their lowest points as this team rebuilt. Now he's reaping the fruits of his labor and persistence as he leads a star-studded Sixers team that has great potential.
Now here's Rose. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. In the corner, Smith with it. A putback. It's good on the putback.
You know, you look at Johnson, he's in that upper echelon when you talk about offensive rebounders, so you've got to account for him.
And so it's Rose bringing it up for the Timberwolves. Clark, you have to applaud management for the way they stuck with Brown as the team was turning things around.
Yeah, I love it, Kevin. I really do. I mean, being able to see the long-term picture and stay with a coach who you believe is the right one for your group. Very impressive work by the Sixers. You know, injuries and a lack of talent were the issue early, not the coaching. The players love Brown, and rarely are coaches afforded as much time and patience as this franchise gave Brown. I applaud him.
The shot's good. Bates Diop's got his second bucket of the night.
And, guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
Chandler inside the line. Good. And McConnell gets the assist. Chandler's got it all tied up now for the 76ers. The Timberwolves have gone 6 of 10 from the field in the third quarter. And Beal kicks to Rose. Passes it to Beal. But they recover it. Bates Diop misses.
Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
Here's Johnson, and good work on the boards to pick up the second chance points. Johnson's got 8.
Nice hands that time by Johnson, able to gather and go up with no problems at all inside.
Minnesota calls timeout.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Absolutely, Greg. I mean, they're getting crushed, killed, hammered, pulverized in the post.
The Timberwolves trail. Here's Rose. And he uses the glass on the layup. He has 5.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
McConnell finds Muscala. Back to McConnell. Smith against Rose. Smith the pass to Muscala. They get it again. And the rejection by Towns.
A tremendous shot blocker in college, Kevin. Towns has packed that part of his game and brought it with him to the next level.
Here's Teague. Not enough on that one as it misses.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
I certainly do. You know, I like to see guys do their work inside. Their rebounding has been excellent, and that's always important in a close game.
Now, here is Smith. 12 points for him. Just 5 to shoot. That one's good from the corner. Smith's got 10 points in just the second half.
Kevin, there's no stopping him right now. I mean, he's locked in this quarter. His defense has to get the ball out of his hand.
Here's Towns. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim.
Staying alert and aware. Wiggins sees his man flash to an open spot. Pass is right on the money.
McConnell kicks to Smith. Chandler outside. Shoots from 12, and he hits the bucket. Chandler's got 4 this quarter.
I think you give Chandler any room to shoot from the mid-range, and he's going to burn you.
The Timberwolves have gone better than 53% from the floor since halftime, shooting 8 of 15. Back to Rose. He kicks it to T. Over McConnell. And again, it's Minnesota converting.
Yeah, and that creativity, Kevin, is something you got to respect in Teague's game. I mean, he's very good at utilizing the pick and roll.
McConnell with it. Picked up by Teague. That's good from Chandler on the assist by McConnell. McConnell's got 5 assists in the game.
Hey, I'll tell you what, the contest on that shot was lacking. Very subpar, which is why the shooter buried it.
Now, here's Teague. He has 6. Here's Towns. Rebound by Johnson. Johnson's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Chandler scanning the floor. 1:16 left here in the third quarter. Muscala hits the bucket.
Really in a good position thanks to the accuracy from beyond.
Yeah, you got that right. I mean, you got it real right. They are lighting it up from beyond the arc this half.
Now here's Rose. He's got 5. He gets that one.
And not being as aggressive from the three-point line anymore. They had a lot more attempts in that first half.
McConnell finds Smith. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And let's take a look at Karl Anthony Towns' numbers. The last 10 or so games, he has been remarkable. 3rd in three-point shooting, 4th in rebounding. And how about his top 10 ranking in free throw percentage? A knockdown shooter, ultra reliable from the line.
And he's the type of three-point specialist that doesn't need a lot of shots to rack up points. That's why he's top 3 in percentage. And that one misses.
He's done a much better job of getting to the line here. Aggressively taking it inside and not shying away from contact. I thought he was settling a bit in the first.
Catching up on the changes for Philadelphia. Joel Embiid. He's checked in for Mike Muscala. Simmons comes in for Wilson Chandler. And Markelle Fultz is subbed in for T.J. McConnell. Good on the second free throw. Here's Rose. He's got 7. Pass to Jang. 40 seconds left in the third quarter. Back to Wiggins. Just 4 to shoot. Towns, high post. Over Johnson. Towns, no luck.
And you know what? He's just not on his game. No doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team. And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. Sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
Now here's Teague, guarded by Fultz. Teague kicks to Towns. Over Johnson. Count it, and the Philadelphia lead has been cut to just 5 points in the basket from Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, you know, not every point guard would be able to find an open man right there, but Teague is always looking for the right play.
The third quarter comes to a close. 76ers lead by 5. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
Boy, that's a nice asset to have. It's a huge boost to any offense too, Greg. It adds a whole nother dimension when you've got a big guy that can pass.
And with 3 quarters behind us, we start the fourth quarter in what is still anybody's ball game. And a look at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the 4th. They've got Jones. He's out there with Rose. And it's Bates Diop in at the 4-man position. Johnson, the pass to Chandler. And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession. Timberwolves trail by 5. Kicks it out to Jones. Zhang, the bounce pass. Inside. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Well, the improving offensive skills and the length makes Zhang a tough cover. I mean, we'll see if he can convert at the line now.
And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the 76ers.
Anytime you get as many points in the paint as they have, you know you've got a good thing going, and you just want to keep it going.
Yeah, but also give them credit for the layups they've had tonight after strong drives to the basket.
He misses the free throw.
And I'll tell you what, guys, Zhang keeps himself in peak physical condition. Low body fat percentage, and I think that's a byproduct of spending time at Louisville. Fanatic for that kind of stuff.
And he sinks the second.
Listen, they're still right in this thing. Missing that free throw, though, keeps this a 2-possession deficit.
Chandler outside. Back to McConnell. 6 on the shot clock. Now the pass to Muscala. The 76ers need to get off a shot. And it's Smith missing. And it's Jones with the ball for the Timberwolves. Here in the 4th quarter, their defense has been very strong, allowing no baskets. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. Just over a minute played here in the 4th. Just 5 to shoot. The shot from 20 feet away. Excellent defense there from Smith. The 76ers leading by 4. Down low. Stolen by Rose. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Jones is running.
And just great offensive execution by both sides, leaving nothing on the table.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Greg, both of these teams completely aligned, in sync right now. I mean, they are torching the Nets late in this ball game.
Here's McConnell. Connects in the foul line jumper. And we're about 2 minutes into the 4th quarter now. Rose with the ball. Pass to Zhang. Out to the wing. Okogie. He's guarded by Chandler. Okogie gets in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game. The 76ers leading. McConnell finds Smith. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Shooting. Smith. At the line for 2.
Free throw drop for Smith. He doesn't get the second one. Timberwolves trail by 3. Passes to Jones. And that's out of bounds. Minnesota will retain possession. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Shot clock at 6. Unloads from 13. And the Timberwolves tack on 2 more. These guys have had some good motion on offense. Nice assisting.
And when everyone's involved offensively, it has a way of helping you on the defensive side as well.
Here's Johnson. It's deflected, and he recovers it. Dishes it to Smith. Here's Muscala. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Smith's got 3 assists in the game.
And those are the types of shots down the stretch that win you ball game.
Jones kicks to Rose. Here's Bates Diop. Got a piece of it and stolen by McConnell. Smith up top. Shoots from the elbow and a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. Smith's got 14 points now in the second half. Timberwolves trail by 6. To the paint. It's tipped. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here.
So close to getting the steal there, but the deflection equally as effective.
Yeah, refusing to give up anything easy. Solid defense, and I like that attitude.
Jones for 3. That shot no good. So Philadelphia will take it the other way. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Up next for them is the Pacers in Indianapolis. That'll be just 1 game played away from home for them. So both teams changing it up here. For Minnesota, they've gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the fourth quarter. Teague, the pass to Gibson. Back to Teague. And Gibson kicks to Teague. There's Beal with the 3. Drills it from outside. Beal's got 24.
A good look there, and he didn't waste it. His second 3 of the game.
Saric outside. Pass to Simmons. Back to Embiid. Outside, Simmons. On the wing, Minnesota with the rebound. Towns has got rebound number 13 for him here tonight. Teague feeling it out a bit. Kicks it to Beal. And the Timberwolves tack on 2 more.
And he has the chops for this. Raising the intensity when it matters most.
Yeah, he's really calm in these situations. Simply takes his time in tight spots. You got to be patient. And he is playing to his strengths.
Teague finds Beal. Gibson against Saric. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
Boy, the energy, the passion. Gibson plays with a real fire inside. An aggressive dunker.
Simmons against Wiggins. Simmons missing again. The Timberwolves have gone 6 of 9 on their field goal attempts since the start of the fourth quarter. Down low, Embiid with the steal. Redick with 3. It's rebounded by Towns. And it's Teague with the ball, but he brings it up for Minnesota. They trail by 1. He feeds it to Beal. Oh, and the dunk by Beal. Neither team here in the fourth generating a lot of separation.
Yeah, it's been a close one. 5 times the lead has switched hands thus far.
Redick passes to Embiid. Now here's Fultz. Solid shot from the distance of about 14 feet.
Wow, he is lighting it up here in the second half.
Minnesota's gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly. T kicks to Towns. Shoots over Embiid. Towns, no luck.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Did a good job guarding the mid-range, extended out nicely, and definitely bothered the shot.
The pass to Embiid. A rebound by the Timberwolves.
Loved how they guarded that layup. Didn't make it easy, which I think is why he missed it.
Yeah, the defender all over it.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Blue shots.
Free throw, no good.
And you know, it's amazing when you look back at the Andrew Wiggins, Kevin Love trade. Safe to say now that I think both teams really got what they wanted out of it.
He hits the second from the line.
They should be in front right now, but he'll be relieved not to have come up totally empty there.
Redick finds Šarić. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. Now here's Fultz. He's covered closely over Teague, and Fultz gets it to go. And the 76ers lead by 2.
He is pouring it on in the second half, guys. I mean, a much better showing than he had before the break.
Towns with it. Now defended by Embiid. Oh, and the dunk by Beal.
You know, when he orchestrates for his teammates, Towns becomes even more valuable to me. Really good when the offense is able to flow through him.
Redick passes to Šarić. Now here's Fultz. Teague covering. Embiid dishes to Fultz. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's on Jeff Teague.
Well, I like the way Fultz attacks with confidence. He's excellent at making the defense commit.
At the line, your 76ers, Markelle Fultz. Taking 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. Both good from the line that time. And Minnesota has possession. T kicks to Towns. Pass to Wiggins. Outside Teague. Puts up a 3. And that one is off. So Philadelphia will take it the other way. Charged with the bounce pass. And Fultz gets it to go.
Man, I love the energy Fultz plays with, Kevin. I mean, when he's deep in the paint, he's really comfortable going up to shoot it.
Feeds it to Beal. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got assist number 5 here tonight.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
Up top, Simmons. Covered by Wiggins. 2 points. That one goes. That's now 22 points for Ben Simmons.
Really like how Simmons commands the ball, especially in key moments.
Now here's Teague. Tight defense on him. Got a hand on it.
Excellent timing that time from Fultz. And I like the edge that he plays defense with. That's impressive for a young guy.
And Redick kicks to Šarić. And here's Fultz. Right side, Redick. 5 on the clock. The 3. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team. And so it's Minnesota with it. 4-point game. Here's Towns, and the shot goes down.
Man, how about the cool, calm collectedness of Towns? Helps him come through when the game gets snug.
Here's Fultz. That one, no good. Great D that time from Teague. Passes it to Wiggins. Here's Towns. The shot goes down and it gets this game back to even. Towns has got 4 points in the quarter.
And I'm trying to think of how many 7-footers I know with that level floater in their arsenal. It's a short roll call list, folks.
Embiid gets to Fultz. Beal against Redick. Embiid 18 feet away and he knocks it down. That gives him the double-double. 10 points and 10 rebounds. Minnesota's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we reached the fourth quarter. Teague finds Towns to the inside, and it's Gibson finishing it off.
Gibson loves coming through for his team when they need him to.
76ers shooting certainly key for them in this one. 55% from the field. Embiid against Towns. Saric passes to Fultz. Rebounded by Towns. It's Teague with the ball, but he brings it up for Minnesota. Higgins outside. Outside Teague. Clock at 6. To take the lead. George grabs the board. And Redick gets to Saric. And the call will be against Jeff Teague. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. And Philadelphia calls time here. Chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Bradley Beal.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Now here's Fultz. Teague covering. Fultz kicks to Embiid. 4 on the shot clock.
Good! What confidence from Joel Embiid. Knocked that one down in a clutch situation.
Minnesota calls timeout. They trail by 2. 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Teague. Oh, he had a chance there to send it to overtime, but they come out empty-handed. So it's Philadelphia taking the W in a close one here. That was a fun night of basketball and fabulous finish as they continued to wait out until the very last moment to seal it.
And there are so many times when you see these tight games won at home, that advantage of having that crowd behind you oftentimes is the ultimate X factor.
And that about wraps it up. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. So long and good night, everyone.
Fultz.